In a small village surrounded by dark, foreboding woods, there lived a doll maker named Gustav. Known for his exceptional craftsmanship, his dolls were lifelike, with intricately carved features and realistic glass eyes. But Gustav was a recluse, and rumors swirled about his eerie creations. One night, a terrible storm hit the village. Lightning struck Gustav's workshop, setting it ablaze. The villagers rushed to extinguish the fire, but the building was engulfed in flames. In the aftermath, they discovered Gustav's charred body clutching a doll unlike any other. This doll was grotesque, with a twisted, malevolent expression and eyes that seemed to glow with an unnatural light. Years passed, and the doll was forgotten, buried beneath the rubble of the old workshop. But strange things began happening in the village. Children would go missing, only to be found days later, unharmed, but with no memory of where they had been. They all spoke of a doll with burning eyes that watched them in their dreams. One brave villager, a young man named Eric, decided to investigate. He dug through the remains of Gustav's workshop and uncovered the cursed doll. As he held it, he felt a sinister presence and heard a voice whispering in his mind, urging him to create more dolls. Eric resisted and decided to burn the doll. As the flames consumed it, he heard a piercing scream and saw the ghostly figure of Gustav, his eyes filled with rage, before vanishing into the night. The village returned to normal, but the legend of the doll maker's curse remained, a chilling reminder of the dark power that once lurked within the heart of the village. In a quaint old town nestled deep in the countryside, there was an antique shop run by an elderly woman named Mrs. Thompson. Her shop was a treasure trove of forgotten relics, each with its own story to tell. Among the myriad items, a peculiar doll stood out. It was a porcelain doll with glassy blue eyes dressed in a Victorian-era gown. Its delicate face seemed almost lifelike, frozen in a perpetual, eerie smile. One autumn afternoon, a young woman named Emily visited the shop. She was immediately drawn to the doll. Despite an unsettling feeling, she purchased it, charmed by its antique beauty. That night, Emily placed the doll on a shelf in her bedroom. As she slept, strange things began to happen. Emily awoke to faint whispers and the sound of soft, tiny footsteps. Her room was dimly lit by the moonlight streaming through the window, and she saw the doll, now positioned differently than she had left it. Its eyes seemed to follow her every move. Over the next few nights, the disturbances grew worse. She heard giggles, saw shadows darting across the room, and felt a cold presence lingering near her bed. Terrified, Emily returned the doll to Mrs. Thompson. The elderly woman accepted it without question, her eyes filled with a knowing sadness. She explained that the doll had once belonged to a little girl who had tragically drowned. The girl's spirit, unable to move on, had latched onto the doll, seeking companionship. Emily left the shop, relieved but haunted by the experience. The doll remained on its shelf, waiting for its next unsuspecting owner. Lily and her family moved into a grand old mansion on the outskirts of a bustling city. The house had been vacant for years, its previous owner an eccentric collector of oddities. Lily, an adventurous 12-year-old, loved exploring the mansion's many rooms and hidden nooks. One rainy afternoon, she discovered a narrow staircase leading up to the attic. Dusty and cluttered with old furniture and forgotten belongings, the attic had an air of mystery. In a corner, Lily found an ornate chest. Inside, she discovered a doll wrapped in a faded lace shawl. The doll had dark, curly hair and eyes that seemed almost alive. That night, Lily placed the doll on a chair in her room. As she slept, she dreamed of a little girl crying out for help. She woke up, heart pounding, to see the doll now sitting on the edge of her bed, its eyes fixed on her. Each night, the dreams grew more vivid, and the doll seemed to move closer. Determined to uncover the truth, Lily researched the mansion's history. She learned that the previous owner's daughter had gone missing many years ago. The girl was last seen playing in the attic. Lily felt a chill as she realized the doll might hold the key to the mystery. One night, during a particularly intense dream, Lily followed the crying girl to the attic. In the dream, the girl pointed to a spot beneath the floorboards. Lily awoke and rushed to the attic, prying up the floorboards where the girl had pointed. She found a small hidden compartment containing a diary. The diary revealed that the girl had been locked in the attic by her father, who had gone mad. She had eventually succumbed to the cold and starvation. The doll had been her only companion. Lily, with the help of her parents, gave the girl a proper burial. After that, the dreams stopped, and the doll remained still. But Lily could never forget the sadness in the doll's eyes, a haunting reminder of the tragic past that lingered in their home. Tommy was a young boy with a passion for ventriloquism. He saved up his allowance and bought a vintage ventriloquist doll named Charlie from a flea market. Charlie had a charming face with bright blue eyes and a mischievous grin. Tommy practiced with Charlie every day, perfecting his act for the school talent show. As Tommy spent more time with Charlie, he began to notice strange things. The doll would sometimes change positions when left alone, and its eyes seemed to follow Tommy around the room. At night, Tommy heard whispers that sounded like Charlie's voice, telling him dark secrets and urging him to do things he knew were wrong. One night, Tommy woke up to find Charlie sitting on his chest, staring directly into his eyes. The doll's grin had twisted into a menacing sneer, and its eyes glowed with an eerie light. Charlie began to speak on his own, telling Tommy that he was now in control. Terrified, Tommy tried to throw Charlie away, but the doll always found its way back. Tommy's parents, worried about his behavior, decided to get rid of the doll. They burned it in the fireplace. But as the flames consumed Charlie, the house was filled with a chilling laughter. The family moved away, but Tommy was haunted by nightmares of Charlie, his sinister laughter echoing in his mind.